All right, guys, this is Norvell Central coming back at you with another YouTube video, and it has been quite some time since I've done a YouTube video. Still trying to get back into the swing of things, having to do a lot of different things. As you might have seen, I am a contributor on Chop Chat now, so I'm doing articles, I'm doing my social medias on my Instagram and also my Twitter account, and I'm trying to get back into the YouTube side of things, but it's taking its time. But hopefully, I can get kind of back into the swing of things, and then we can kind of go from there. But I just wanted to kind of discuss on a hot topic, considering I haven't been able to post on some of these commitments that we've had recently. The recent transfer prospect that we were able to get was Keon Coleman, Michigan State wide receiver who had over 700 yards last season and was very productive for the Spartans. And I think this is a guy that Florida State can really, really rely on this season. But it kind of brings upon the conversation that they were battling out with schools like Ole Miss as well for Keon Coleman, and they actually got the better part of it. Now, unfortunately, they weren't really able to get Jalen Key, the safety from UAB. He committed to Alabama, so they had to kind of pivot in another direction to kind of build some more momentum and generate a little bit more excitement, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now, is Mike Norvell a transfer portal, king, or let's just say, for example, he is a guy that really, really gets transfer portal prospects into his program at a high level? And I think he definitely is. He's a guy that you talk about all the time. Now, you have guys like Deion Sanders, who is also bringing in a lot of transfer portal guys as well, but quality over quantity at some point, as you could say, with some of these guys. I mean, you got a Gilbert Edmond, who I think is going to be a reserve defensive end, hopefully a contributor for you as we go through there. Keandre Jones, I think he can be a contributor in 2024 at the guard position. Ventrell Cyphus is probably going to be one of your starting cornerbacks there. Braden Fisk is probably going to be a starter as well. Jeremiah Byers, whether he plays tackle or whether he plays guard, I think he's going to be a starter also. Casey Roddick, another situation at the guard position, I think can really be a starter there. Kyle Morlock, going to probably be a starting tight end or a tight end number 3 that's going to play a lot behind Marquise and Douglas. Jaheim Bell, I think he's going to be tight end number 1 at this point. And then you also got a guy like Darrell Jackson, who is going to be a starting defense tackle. At worst, going to be a defense tackle 3 that's going to play a ton as well. I mean, when you look at those 10 guys there, I mean, that's very, very impressive. Now, the other thing is, too, Mike Norvell's got to find a safety in the transfer portal. Safety has kind of become that do-it-all position after you lost Jamie Robinson, a very, very productive tackler and a do-it-all defender for Florida State. But can you be able to kind of replace his production? You had Ashlyn Barker, who you actually was able to get a couple of days ago. Will he be able to come in as a quote-unquote freshman coming off of JUCO, redshirting this past year, and then kind of coming into the program at 6'3", 200 pounds? Maybe so. Will it be a Conrad Hussey? Will it be another situation? Maybe an Edwin Joseph can, instead of going to corner, be at safety. Will one of the corners move over to the safety position? I think that's going to be kind of something to watch out for there. But I mean, Mike Norvell's done a really, really good job in addressing the needs. Now, the other part of the conversation is you can't really rely too much heavily on the transfer portal. At some point, you have to recruit at a high level at your kind of school that you have. I mean, you have all the momentum specifically because your rivals, Florida and Miami, are struggling on the field right now. You have to take advantage of that. At some point, I think Mike Norvell is going to have a top 10 recruiting class here, but when is it going to come? I think year is his best year to have it. I mean, right now he's 8th in the country in the 247 composite rankings right now, and when you look at everything that's going to happen, I mean, Florida State's involved with a ton of prospects that are officially visiting. You got a guy like 5-star cornerback Charles Lester, who I wrote about in a Chop Chat article as well. I'll kind of link that to the bottom of the description. But that's a guy that Florida State really, really wants to go after. After I spoke to Luke Romanhawk and also Cam Davis as well, they both talked about how Lester was that guy that they really wanted in this class. He was at the top of their wish list. He's a defender they really want, especially at the cornerback position when you're losing a guy like Renato Green, as well as Jarian Jones also at the cornerback position. Will Ventrell Cyphus, will he leave after this year? We'll kind of see how that kind of plays out. But, just looking at all the depth of the positions, I mean, there are a couple of needs other than just the safety position. You got a linebacker that you might have to be able to also get as a graduate transfer. And you have to keep in mind also, graduate transfers can still transfer, and they don't really have a timetable. It's not like you have to get in by May the 15th. You can have as a graduate transfer and be able to come in and enter right now and be able to go to the school of your choosing right now. So it just kind of depends on how you want to look at it. I mean, maybe another defensive end. Can you rely on Byron Turner to be able to kind of stay healthy throughout his career at Florida State so far? We'll see. We'll see how everything kind of plays out there. But super excited to see how Mike Norvell's continue to develop at the transfer portal, getting those prospects in. And I also think he's brought in a lot of good recruits as well. But You can't really take fact of today's college football in society now with recruits and transfers. Transfer portal is just kind of the way to go at this moment. You want to bring in experienced guys, especially if you have holes at the position, but you eventually have to be able to recruit at a high level, and being able to get a sizable, noticeable amount of transfers coming into your program to kind of balance out both of the factors. But I really appreciate all the love and support on all of my videos as well. I'm going to try to post as much as I can. I really appreciate all the patience with me as well. Be sure to follow my accounts. That's where I usually post all my content, but I'm going to try to post again throughout all the YouTube videos, and we'll see how this one goes. Let's make this video 30 likes if we can. Pretty small goal, but we'll see how it goes with everything. But I really appreciate all the support, all the love and support, and go Knowles.